Hello and thank you for watching Easy Cooking. Today we're going to prepare a very traditional Bulgarian dish, which is pickled cabbage with chicken. It's very quick, very easy, and I'm sure that you guys are going to enjoy it. Before we get started, please subscribe. Hey baby! Please subscribe and like our videos if you enjoy our food. I also love to see your pictures or videos of making the food too in comments, so don't be shy to comment. And as always, the recipe is under the video in description. So let's get started and see what ingredients we need. Pickled cabbage, paprika, black pepper, olive oil, rice.
What is that food?
Chicken.
Yes.
Now that we know what ingredients we need, we can get started. First, we're going to get our pot, because we're going to be dropping our cabbage right in there. The first thing I'm going to do is put the oil on the bottom. We're going to need that, of course. We're going to drop the pepper. We're going to drop the paprika. Thank you, Natalie. I'm going to put this to the side over here. I don't need it quite yet. Okay, honey? Actually, you know what? I do need it. You're right. Thank you. I'm going to save this dish. I'm going to use this dish because we're going to need that dish anyway. Alright, now we're going to open up. Let me move the chicken so your feet don't get in the chicken, honey. Now we're going to open up our cabbage and we're going to start working on it.
Cabbage.
I'm going to get a knife. I guess Daddy should have been a little better prepared with that, but that's okay. Oops, that's my rice. Yeah. Okay, no, don't touch the ricey rice, okay?
Mine.
Can Daddy keep going now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you hold on to this, okay? Don't let it go. Sound good? Awesome. Okay, so we can continue. We're gonna start getting our pickled cabbage out. Now, I usually get my pickled cabbage from the foreign market.
Daddy.
And
Daddy.
you can get it at the regular store, I'm sure. I don't know if you can find such big jars. Hey, Natalie.
Daddy.
Yeah, what's up, baby? What am I doing? I'm cooking. I'm making some nice dinner. Look at these cabbage leaves. Now, normally I buy my cabbage. You can buy this same thing, pickled cabbage, but pre-chopped already.
Daddy, are you going to put a juice in the pot?
I'm gonna get some juice in the pot. Would you use the juice? I was gonna use the juice from the squeezed cabbage, but it seems like we have plenty in the jar. So anyway, normally I buy it pre-cut already.
Daddy, are you going to put the juice in?
Yeah, in a minute. But this time, my original plan was to actually make stuffed cabbage rolls. So I got the leaves with the idea to make stuffed cabbage rolls, and then I changed my idea. We can make stuffed cabbage rolls another time. Bless you, Lily. Okay, we're going to squeeze this, and then we're going to chop it up. If you buy it cut, you just save some time cutting it. Now I just have to spend a few minutes cutting the cabbage, which is alright. We'll get it done here real quick. It doesn't take too long. Okay, we only have about 4 of these anyway, so we'll squeeze it very well. Squeezing the cabbage is very important if you want to get all the juices out.
Yes.
Nope, Natalie, that's a very sharp knife, honey. Nope, 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 nope.
Why
do you need to squeeze it if you're just gonna put the juice in anyway?
Because you need to measure how much juice you put, and if I don't squeeze it, it will come with juice in it already, but I don't know how much juice, and I need to know exactly how much juice is in there.
Okay.
Right, Lily? Yeah. Alright.
Yucky cabbage.
Well, that's why Mama made you a different meal, because I know you're not gonna like the pickled cabbage, but it's very good. If you're an adult, you're gonna love it. Actually, I loved it when I was a kid too, but again, I grew up with it. And in my old country, I grew up eating it on a regular basis, so I'm used to it. Obviously, we don't live in my old country right now, and my kids are not quite that used to pickled cabbage on a regular basis.
Rocky.
So the juice. Believe it or not, pickled cabbage juice is a very good hangover treatment. So if you have leftover juice, don't throw it away.
Why?
Because you can cure hangover with it, my dear. You know one day. When you're much older than this. Okay, we got everything that we need from here.
In there.
Now we're gonna measure up some juice.
One more.
Okay, now we're gonna throw our cabbage juice in here. We're gonna measure 3 cups because we're putting 1 cup of rice in there too. So 1, 2, 3, and the dish does not call for any salt because the pickled cabbage juice is salty to begin with. So that's the reason we do not put salt in the dish.
Mom, look.
Okay, so we're good with that. Let me get a spoon.
I'm all done with my homework.
Alright, I'm gonna give it a stir and then I'm gonna put it on the stove. Put it on high heat to get it, or medium high, not too high, you don't want it to burn.
Stop dipping the Kleenex in the juice.
Put it on medium high heat to get it boiling.
Daddy, now let's dip the Kleenex in the juice.
Yeah, she's cleaning, baby. She's helping me. That's okay. So anyway, as I was saying, medium high heat, you don't want to burn it. Once it starts boiling, turn the heat down and cook it for about 30 minutes. So we're gonna get that started. I'll put it on the stove top. Put the lid kind of cracked on here. So again, once it starts boiling, give it 30 minutes on the stove, and then we'll put it in a casserole dish and we'll continue from there. See you in a few. We're gonna check on our progress here. It's about 15 minutes into it. We'll give it a good stir. You don't really need to stir it very much, maybe 2-3 times in that half hour of cooking here on the stove. And since I only have 15 minutes left to cook it on the stove, at this point of time, I'm going to start my oven. We want to preheat it to 425. And what I'm doing right now is just packing the top of this a little bit so that the rice is all covered in water. So at this point, I have 15 minutes left. I'm going to start my oven on 425, let it preheat, because it's going to take a few minutes to heat up. And then we're going to move it to the oven after it's done on the stovetop. We have about 10 minutes left on our rice here, but my water evaporated and I don't want my rice to burn. So I fill up a cup of water. I'm going to pour a little bit in, probably the equivalent of about 1 cup. And I'm going to give it a stir and let it finish cooking for the next 10 minutes here. You may run into this on a stovetop when you're cooking rice. A lot of times your water will evaporate before you need it to evaporate. So make sure to just add a little bit of water halfway through your cooking process if that happens. Sometimes if you keep it on a little too high heat, your water will evaporate. So just make sure you don't run your rice dry because it will stick to the bottom of the pan and you will burn your rice. That's about it. Our rice is ready. First we want to peek at it. We want to make sure there's a little bit of juice in there left. It's sticking to the bottom, so I'm going to add a little juice before I transfer it to the casserole dish. Roughly half a cup. Normally I don't measure. It looks like I poured about half a cup in there. You want some water in there when you put it in the oven because the rice will keep cooking and it will absorb it all. So I'm going to stop my stove top. This should be good. I may add a little more water once it's in the casserole dish, so go ahead and follow me over there. I'll get a oven mitt while my wife sets the camera. And we're gonna go ahead and transfer it all over here. So just be generous, pour it all in, and then I'm getting a steam treatment and I'm not even paying for a spot. Okay, that should do it. Now we're gonna spread it around. Now you can use a regular casserole dish. This is one that I like to use. It's metal. It's not your regular non-stick. I don't even know what it's coated with, but it's one of my favorites. We used to use those back home in my old country growing up, and that's what my mom used to cook those in, and my dad. So actually it looks like we need a little more water, so let me get that. Another half a cup or so. So that was about a total of a cup of water. Let's get it mixed in. Make sure it's evenly spread through the rice. Well, that should be good. We don't want to put too much either. You don't want to turn it into soup. So that was, I think we added a total of about a couple of cups since we started. We added a couple of cups additional water through the process. Now we're going to start with our chicken. And we're going to start placing our chicken just random spots in the casserole dish. I like to leave it exposed a little bit, that way it gets nice crispy top. I am using boneless thighs that I got from the store. Honestly, you can use chicken drums, you can use chicken breast, whatever your preference is. I like the thighs the best. Most of the time I like to get them on the bone with the skin, but sometimes I cheat and I just get them boneless. It's a little easier, a little faster when I'm running low on time, and today we had to run to a birthday party, so I didn't have time to debone my own chicken thighs. So I cheated, which is good. Sometimes cheating is good. The end result will be absolutely the same. And you need about a pound or two of meat. This seems to be a little more than what I need, but I'll squeeze it in. I'll make sure it fits in here. And we'll just have plenty of leftovers. Okay. And that last piece will go right over here. All right. Now, we're gonna dab it on top like this, or pat it, whatever you want to call that. Sometimes I get lost in translation, so never mind the words coming out of my mouth. Okay. We should be good. Get that last little bit of rice out of that spoon. Awesome. This looks good, smells awesome. It's gonna smell even better when I cook it. Alright, we're gonna put it in the middle shelf in our oven. We'll give it 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. We'll start with 30 because we don't want it to get overcooked. And if needed, we're gonna add another 15. We're looking for that golden crisp on top, and of course I'll show you at the end. Timer set, we're good, we'll see you later. Okay, so we added about 15 more minutes for a total of 45 because it wasn't quite done yet. We had a little too much chicken in there. Alright, here's our finished product. It looks amazing, smells amazing, and it's super awesome. So, it's still bubbling. I'm gonna dish myself out, but I'm gonna let it cool and then we're gonna try it a little bit, and then I'll wish you a good night. They're going crazy over there. Okay, so this should be cooled enough, hopefully. I don't burn myself, but it smells super good, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. So we got just enough saltiness from the juice that I added, and it's perfectly pickled flavor. The rice is cooked well. I'm gonna try the chicken here in a second. And honestly, this dish goes really well with feta cheese. Of course, if you've seen my videos before, feta cheese goes with everything, but this specific dish goes very well with feta cheese. So enjoy your night, and I'll see you next time.